Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. This is a Pisces reading. I hope you guys are doing well. So let's get into this, Pisces. It looks like something's coming out already. It doesn't say what it is yet, but it's eager to come out. So let's get into it, shall we? So just please remember to check every star sign in your birth chart as much as possible to make sure that you get a good resonation of what's, happening in your life personally. Either way, just take what resonates and leave the rest. So it says, nothing's set in stone, but you will see blessings come to your life. Only if you see blessings come in a way that you can admire. It says, no one's going to tell you of more than you've even realized, but you have to look into your plans and your personal problems without them. It says, you've been seeking attention from someone or wanting to see that you get help from someone. It says, no one's coming forward to help you more than you can help yourself. You've been looking for recognition. It says some of you really want to show off or show something to someone else about what it is that you have or what it is that you love about yourself. It doesn't say that you have anything worried about. You don't need to speak about anybody in the back of your mind or even see that they're there. It says you noticed that you wanted someone so badly that you didn't even know how to communicate this to your mind. You just knew that your spirit earned a way forward to clarify you being there around them. It says it was coming to you with bad omens, very much so regretting it, or looking for a way to see that you would regret it. It says you don't know why sometimes people will treat you a certain way, but you have to honor yourself instead of looking for why. And it says many of you have been doing this, but it doesn't say why you should honor yourself. It could be your path that wants you to know that you should honor yourself without clarifying why. You've got to take the time to see that it's a blessing or a curse. At the same time, you may want more of the blessing than a curse. You've absolutely given yourself good news without seeing what bad news could come out of the situation. Hell no, it says you will not come to the conclusion that you will support yourself again in the situation. You're not going to answer anyone's calls if they come through. It says you know that you don't have to speak to anyone and they don't have to speak to you. It says no one's going to see that you have blessings in your mind. You could have blessings and you could have curses. It says someone here doesn't know if you've looked at them, but have you taken up a good omen in your mind to see that you've stolen something from them or looked around at a situation in the back of your mind and said it was theirs? It says you do know you don't want something and you take it and you use it or you leave it and you don't want it anymore, so then I can use it. It says this man says he doesn't know what it is with people, but they will use things and then communicate what they've seen and then never see it. But it says he knows he's looking for his one. If it is being used, where is it? It doesn't say he will see it, but he reckons that he could see it one day. It says he may not want to use it anymore, but he wonders why he even gave it away in the first place. He loved it so much and he never used it. And I said, I'm going to use it, but I didn't use it. Now I'm honoring myself to look for whoever took it. Are they going to show me that I can take it back if they don't want it anymore? It says they know that they need to stop bullying you or taking from you because they gave it to you. Someone gave you something or put something out and you took it up and you don't know why you're using it, but you decided to use it for yourself and they want it back now because they should have never gave it away or put it out. Oh my goodness, Pisces. It says you know that you don't want to use people's things. At times you do know that you can get your own, but sometimes people will leave you with things that look very, very nice and you can communicate having it for yourself. So you're using something of someone else's and making sure it is yours and you like it. Okay. It says no one's going to trouble you at the end of the day with anything else that you've got in your mindset. You've got to have victim mentality to suffocate yourself a little, i.e. suffer a little, because it says your way of looking at things are not very good sometimes. You may have to tune in to other things to see that you can move past it, or maybe look backwards or even inwards at yourself to move past it. Maybe challenge your energies not so much, but adjust to the way of life of other people's and not just your own. You are not the only person on the planet. It says you have to attune to other people's way of beings, or maybe even see that you are honoring theirs in a way that is not deceptive to yourself or yours deceptive to them. Okay, and I'm also hearing something about the Chinese New Year's as well. It says it may bring you a lot more time and energy with your mind, maybe even your money, but it also says you're going to have good news overall with your friends and your family. So you will have better news to see things, and bloody hell you did it, Pisces. Something that you didn't think you were going to have is going to come to you in good news. So watch out for good news. It doesn't say anyone is going to bless you more than you've blessed yourself. So be prepared to see energy that you can give yourself in a good way. You may not want to see everything in a bad way either. So you can punish yourself all you want to, but you could plan for another good news outcome to come. It says you may want to see someone again, or maybe even purposely see if they're going to plan to come and see you. It says it's not worth it, but you still want to plan this anyway. Some of you guys are really shooting yourself in the leg or the foot or the arm. It says some of you guys are really harming yourself to get something that you can't have. Allow yourself something that you couldn't have is what you've told yourself. It's like you keep telling yourself to go and get the same thing that you've been told that you're not allowed to have. It says, am I available? Are you available? You want to know if someone's available if they're going to say that they are available to you. This person doesn't want to show you that they're available, Pisces. This person realized that they have something given to them that they don't know what it's there for, but they realize they i.e. are in love with it, or they like it, or they want to know what is going on with the situation with this person. They are in another situation. Could be a third party relationship, or it is that you're not wanting to know that you're in a relationship with them, but it does say that you could bring yourself into a third party mistakenly. So be careful not to get yourself involved in something that was already there and has tried to warn you that it's already there. This person may not have given you all the answers, but they see they're in something that they can't get out of, or they want to, but don't want to show you that they're invited into the situation with you there, being a nuisance to yourself, a problem to them. This person says they don't know what it is with you, but you like to show off a lot. You may want to give yourself to them too much, and maybe even want to see that you've got problems overriding theirs. They don't want to know that they're harming you, so they're moving on. This person says, I don't know what it is with you and your mind, but I like you. It says it's a Leo, or it is an absolute Scorpio that likes you. They like you moving on, though. Both of them like you moving on. They say you don't fit into our world. We've got things going on. Factuated energy is there with us. We like each other. We don't want you involved in our world. Please move on. Okay, so both of their energies are asking you to move on. They are infatuated with each other and they're asking you to move on. It also says that they don't want to get involved with you and a Libra. There could be Libra energy that they're trying to justify in their mindsets right now. It says their cute outcomes with their family and their friends could happen one day, but they really feel bothered about why it's not going to happen, or why it could happen, or why it's not happening. They feel like they want to struggle a little bit. Mainly, it could be on the partner's side, one of theirs, but it says you don't have to get the invited information into their business. You may have to move on with a Cancer or a Libra or a Scorpio native of theirs, which is also a Pisces. But it says you also may want to see that a man Scorpio is better for you as a friend or even a lover more than the female energy of a Scorpio, because she's trying to warn you that she's not good for you right now. Scorpio males are better lovers right now for Pisces than female Scorpios that are better not lovers, i.e. they're not going to be good lovers for the Pisces energy right now. It could be Cancer that they're more attracted to or wanting to know they could have good news with, or maybe they can't get it with them, so they've moved on. But it also says you've got to move on with your mindset about things too. They won't want to know that you're stressing. So they've got to understand you may believe that you are having good news obsessing, but it's not going to help out. Okay? And maybe you should see why you are dealing with problems with your family side of things. Maybe you have a parent that has passed, or maybe you have family members that are helping you with certain things, like in spiritual energy. It could be your ghost-like energy, or even your family side in your father's side that don't want to know that you have good news with your father, but with a family member that has passed on or moved on, or even helping you to see you should have Scorpio that could change your life. It says they can change your life, but they're not ready to do so. They may even witness that they don't want to get involved with you for a long time or forever. They absolutely right now adore their mindsets, not wanting to pick up the phone, talking to you forever, or even speaking to you for a long time, or even seeing you. They feel like they need to move on past the ill will mentality of yours in the past. They have wished for this. They don't want to speak to you right now or even in the near future. It says sometimes they realize that they've tried many times over to help you or even give you advice or maybe even seek your attention, and you kick them down so much to the point they don't even want to look at you. You have harmed them. It says some of them really feel like their spitefulness could come in if you don't leave them alone, because they really warned you. If you didn't like me before and I was trying to be there for you, I was trying to love you, care for you, take care of you, look after you, be there for you, and you didn't want it, why now? What is making you want to run to me now? And is it spitefulness, or is it a curse again? Or is it the fact that you want me for real? Because they're not happy with you. They feel very sad that you're even trying to communicate with them, or even trying to command them to see you or be with you. Doesn't say what it is with them, but they don't like you. And it does say that you need to move on past the energies or try to make amends on your own. It doesn't say why you have to communicate in a better way or how you could communicate in a better way. It's just telling you to move on. Okay? It says one day you will need the Pisces, is what you want to say to them. But if you want to communicate this, it says you've got to communicate in a better way instead of just teasing them and telling them or even lying to them and harming them. It says you guys don't get along. You really, really don't get along. And it's because Pisces energy keeps pushing them away and then bringing them in when they want to laugh with them, make fun of them, skin their teeth with them, or even make jokes about them, and then try to show off to them and play with them. You manipulate them, you hurt them, you play with them, you toy with them, and you joke with them, but you don't show them respect. This is why the universe is telling you you've got to give Scorpio, most definitely Scorpio, including the male Scorpios, a lot of respect. And it says the males are allowed to be around because they can deal with you in ways that they will trash you. Whereas the women, they can't cope with your mental problems, giving them grief. They don't want to deal with you anymore. It says all of you are going to see bad news. When you see bad news, you'll see bad news. That's mostly because you want to see it, Pisces. It says your energy is telling them to go and do things that you wouldn't normally even speak about. You want to tell them evil things or even tell them they should harm themselves. For some of you, you don't want to say this, but your spiritual guides are showing you that you're punishing them through their energy. Manipulative energy at that. Really bad mood energy. Supporting every bad news energy that could come out of the situation. Bad omens. They don't want to support you with anything. They want to see you harmed, is what you feel. But it's not going to be the truth if you're not honest with yourself about how they've been treating you in the past, which is pure gold. They gave you good news, so much of it to the point you ignored them, so much of it to the point you dismissed them, so much of it to the point you have used, abused, taken your own good news and mistakenly or even purposely harmed them. So it says you need to stop picking on Scorpio. It does say Scorpio specifically more than any other star sign. Even Gemini absolutely recommends that you move on from them because they're being trashed by Scorpio as we speak. I'm hearing karma, karma. It does say that you've got bad news with them, mostly them. So you've got to move on and stop seeing if you could speak to them about things that you like. It could be love life, it could be factual energy, it could be feelings, it could be things that you use. It could even be tidying your mind to say that you want to be a laughing matter with them. Like you could be buddied up with them, or even smoke with them, drink with them, take drugs with them, maybe hang out with them. But they don't want to know that you're doing this with them anymore. They don't want to know that they're even taking away your fine mindedness in your life. So why would you want it for them? Ideally, you could be trying to punish them for things that they have or things that they're trying to achieve or produce. And they don't want to know that you're doing that. They hate the way you look at them, and they really, really don't want to know that you're pretending. Having fun with other people is better for you to go off and do. It says all of you need to go and see this. Mind you, you may not want to see it. Sometimes you may want to see it, sometimes you don't. It says a lot of you all don't want to know that you're going to have fun right now. It says you are taking some time in your mind to see that you could have fun, but not with the right source. And you may not want to hang around certain people like other Pisces or even Geminis or Libras or Aries or Aquarius or even some Scorpios, but not all of them, as most of them you want to hang around. It says a lot of them you are picking on, and it says you need to stop or else you're in trouble by the universe by the ending of the year, and you will see smoke coming from your own mind on why you couldn't get them. You'll have problems again. trying to reach for the stars and can't communicate why they're the star, because they are absolutely infatuated with their mindset being stars. They are stars of the universe, stars of the planet, and they see themselves with blessed energy. And good news is coming, with you all not realizing that Orion's belt is also issuing you with evictions of problems from your mind, because Orion's belt is centered around the star sign of Pisces right now. It says your energies are going to personally give you bad news if you don't move on from spiteful energies of other Pisces. And many of you are going to go down with the water sign energy. It says all of you have to deal with water sign communities until you move on past the energies of spitefulness, because you don't know how to deal with good energy, which is in the sun or is richly based in the Leo energy. It says you've got to understand why Scorpio even wants to know that the sun is going to be blessed news for them, but they have to see that blessings can come with their mindsets, saying they will take their time with them and see a better outcome than they did before. It's got to be you that witnessed this through their energy, but it also says they will see blessed energy come from the sun. It is rich energy like the sun that will help them pass the negative energy in a bad way, to do with the wrath of Satan, or even the personal traitors that they've had around their mindsets, believing in themselves, or even seeing that God is not real, because they feel like God is not real sometimes. But it says God is real. It's just that we know that overcoming an energy that we've seen and heard so much on the news, the radio, in books, in television, is not going to come overnight. We understand it's going to happen soon, but we do not know how to communicate everything. You'll have to pay attention to your biblical studies, religious studies, or even spiritual beliefs. It says a lot of you are going through a downfall, but don't know how to trust the universe is going to pick you back up. With Scorpio, they understand they have to rise again. So they will be rising again. They will go down with the universe and hate it, but they will rise again and personally want to know that they enjoy it. They love it. So you will have to witness this, but they don't have to be in your face. And you may not know it even, or even try to watch them, but you'll understand this one day in the near future, with Scorpio rising again in the future, with Scorpio's energy, plus Leo's energy, or Capricorn's energy, or maybe even the answers that they've been given from the demon himself, Satan, to move on past the energy of you being mistakenly led by Lucifer. It says all of you don't know what's going on, but you're all being led by Lucifer. And Scorpio is trying to figure out what to do to move past it for everyone, humanity. So when Scorpio believes they have the power to move on from the punishment, then everyone else can. But it says you all can't do this unless you honor Scorpio in the end, because they're punishing people for being nasty to them. They're making people look bad. Whoever harmed them and wants to follow them into the light will go into darkness and stay there, because you all have to bow down to Scorpio in the end. It's going to bring you back to a time when you remember nothing is set in stone. Everything could change again for you in your delicious, beautiful lifestyles, and then you'll see rain come down, thunder, lightning, and a whirlwind of pain, because Scorpio is making sure they ain't going to bring nobody with them into the limelight unless they see that good news comes. They are changing their mindsets about a lot of things and want to see that blessings come with good news, and the heavenly realms and the special needs family members that could come along, because a lot of people have to go through good news, but there is special needs people as well, i.e. handicapped people or deaf people, or even Scorpio saying, look, we know that there's a lot of demonized energies that we have to challenge. So we have to understand how we can delicately take care of individuals. We can't take care of everybody. So we're going to move past the situation and see you all have good news. But we won't be able to do that until you all understand we are taking care of it, and we're not taking anybody with us that is going to be our next downfall or our bad news. So you all can stay out and be punished by the universe again that hasn't been rectified or fixed, or even by your mischievous behaviors, because you didn't want to listen to Scorpio, you didn't want to do what Scorpio had to say, you didn't want to trust in Scorpio, and you didn't want to trust that Scorpio could give you great news. Okay? Because even them, they do know they have to listen to each other sometimes, but they all have their own individual paths. When we start opening up realms for you to go through, and you'll see the portals that you will join to be in the right place at the right time, then you can demonize your mindset around why you're there or why you've put yourself there. But until then, we have to study Scorpio's energy in a good way and bless them instead of curse them, or else we are doomed as a people. So it says, make sure you know this, as God's realm is Scorpio's realm. It says God's realm is Scorpio's realm, and no other realm is a realm where God is other than Scorpio. So make sure you all behave and love yourself, or else Scorpio will deal with you and leave you alone forever. It says karma is with a lot of you. Even Satan knows he has to let go of his wrath to help Scorpio. Yeah? Scorpio is going to have good news through Satan. Okay? Because the good news is coming through with Satan saying, I know that I have to help a lot of people on the planet change their minds and their outcomes, but I can't do it because I like a lot of evil. However, Scorpio knows that Scorpio is not going to be alone. Everybody likes evil, but Satan also is going to have good news or bad news to help anyone, just like God. So even with you not believing in God, or believing in God or not believing in God, some of you believe in Satan and some of you don't believe in Satan, but the truth is we all have to trust what the universe is going to help us with. And evil Scorpio is what you want to call them, is trying to help them bring out the better ideas of moving past Satan's wrath into a good idea that Satan could be kinder to us if we all listen to ourselves and believe that God is going to help us on the other side. So you have to listen to Scorpio right now, and if not, then you will perish and suffer. And that's where Scorpio comes in again, because even the government sees themselves in a problem with Scorpio's energy. It does say schools and even buildings will suffer. Companies will suffer. A lot of communication failure is going to happen. It says the universe is going to suffer if we don't listen to the Scorpio energy. In the Taurus energy, we see this. It says the Taurus people will know a lot about this once we read into the Taurus energy. So it says, mark my word, we're going to visit Taurus energy soon for you all to see. If you want to visit the energies, then peep in or be prepared to listen to what's going on with Scorpios versus the Venus planets that are coming in to prepare us for even the Taurus energy and the Scorpio's energy in ideally Aries, Capricorn or Virgo. And some of you guys will have to listen to many other channels to hear a lot of information. But if you don't want to listen, it's up to you. It's just be prepared for all the wrath that could come if you don't want to pay attention and then you feel like things are not going your way. So good luck. Okay. So that's the energies and that's the messages that the universe is giving you. And it does say, Pisces, don't cry, but next week you're going to have a bad outcome again because you keep looking for the same problem and she's not wanting you. It says for you guys that are looking for Scorpio females, the males that are looking for Scorpio women, or even some of you guys that are dealing with the woman as a friend, okay, maybe you could be a man, you could be a woman. It says some of you guys are going to have a bad time and some of you guys are not going to have a good time at all. Some of you guys are not going to have any good time at all. So you have to move on from Scorpio energy for at least a year or a month or two to let them subside in any partnering up in their mind of demonology that you think is going to give them bad news to give you. It says it's not giving you any bad news right now. They don't want to give you any bad news. Really, they don't. They just don't want you around them. They don't want you to participate in anything that they've got good going on. They don't even want to see you. They don't want to breathe around you. They don't want to look at you. They don't want to participate in nothing. And they feel like it's all because you've done something to harm them. So you've got to move on past anything that's negative, anything that you don't want to listen to. It's up to you again, because some of you guys are really stubborn on not wanting to hear what they have to say, and then you still want to hang out with them. They don't want to listen to you at all either. So you have to move on. Okay? Alright. That was a long message for Pisces energy in relation to Scorpio. It also says that you've got to understand, Pisces, you're not innocent. So look into yourself from now. It says we'll deal with you in that way until the end of time if you want to. But you have to move on. So it says say goodbye to us or move on, because we are spiritual energies as well. We've got demons in the universe that will deal with you. It says there's a lot of jinns right now circulating the universe, and many people don't understand this. When it comes to spiritual energy, you don't know who you're dealing with, even in yourself. There's jinns in you right now as you speak, even when you didn't know that. There's spiritual energies right there, right now as we speak. We could go deep into demonology and find out what's there, but right now it's just going to leave you with a piece of quietness to deal with in your mindset and understand who you are as a being. Yeah, your being spirit is a jinn. It's not a human being. It's a spirit that has to lead its way into spiritual energies beyond your control. Even when you say you want to do something and you don't do it, it's the jinn spirit in you that's guiding you not to do it. You have a jinn in you. So you have to look into the energies beyond your control and deal with it, because you don't know who you are completely. You just know that you're a spirit, but you don't know what kind of spirit you are or who you are or where you came from. It says use the Quran for some of you guys that want to understand jinn, or just Google it or look into the problem. It says many thanks to you. You will move on and see blessed energy one day at a time. Scorpio needs to move on with Leo, and maybe even see that Scorpio's energy wants to know that Leo is okay and fine, but they also want to know they're well and fine too. They also want to see that Aries is there too, or even punish themselves with Sagittarius. Some of them are not going down that road. Even Virgo wants to know what's going on with them, and Sagittarius too. Also, it says anytime they see a blessing come, they're going to see it come in the next year, but it says it's not going to happen this year. It also says it could happen in the next year or two, but they are waiting to see their blessings and they're working towards it, so they don't want to see anyone wrath with them like Pisces or any other star sign, because they're going to kick off. But it says you have to move on and allow them to have peace and quiet and harmony on their planet, as well as what they're doing with the Satan energy, which is also guiding you to remember whose planet it is. Okay? Because Satan earns his right to speak about what it is he's done on the earth. And he has probably not given you a lot of good news for some of you guys that have gone through bad news. But Scorpio is fixing all of that for you if you just allow them to, even if you don't believe it. So you have to move on and trust the universe, which is also in cooperation with Scorpios. Okay? So move on from the negativity and leave them to be, and stop bothering your mind about why they're not paying attention to you. Because they do love you. For some of you guys, they really love you. Obviously, you've got children with some of them, or some of them you do know they're your child, or their mother or father or aunt or uncle, or even a friend, whatever it is. But you've got to allow them peace and harmony in themselves to deal with whatever it is they've gone through or what they're going through. So allow them peace. Okay? So that's it for now, my lovelies. We're going to speak to you in the next reading. Okay? So take care and ciao for now. Bye.